Official Study Guide. Discover Canada, the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. Question. The Canadian national anthem is called A. O Canada. B. God Save the Queen. C. In the Flanders Field. D. God Bless Canada. Answer. A. O Canada. Question. What are the 4 rights of citizen ensured in Canadian Charter? A. Mobility rights, Aboriginal people's rights, official language rights and multiculturalism. B. Mobility rights, right to work, official language rights and right of religion freedom. C. Mobility rights, Aboriginal people's rights, official language rights and rights of free education. D. Mobility rights, Aboriginal people's rights, official language rights and right to work. Answer. A. Mobility rights, Aboriginal people's rights, official language rights and multiculturalism. Question. Canada become constitutional monarchy under which of the following? A. The British North America Act 1867. B. Greek-Canadian Charter of Freedom 1982. C. The Quebec Act of 1774. D. Magna Carta of 1215. Answer. A. The British North America Act 1867. Question. In Oath of the Citizenship, to whom Canadians profess their loyalty? A. The Canadian Constitution. B. The Sovereign Queen or King. C. Prime Minister of Canada. D. The Canadian flag. Answer. B. The Sovereign Queen or King. Question. Which of the following women group was given the right to vote in federal elections? A. Women serving as nurses in World War I. B. Women married to soldiers in World War I. C. Women working in factories in World War I. D. Women who lost a family member in World War I. Answer. A. Women serving as nurses in World War I. Question. In the D-Day invasion of Western Europe on June 6, 1944. Canadian forces stormed into which beach from the German army? A. Paris. B. Netherlands. C. Lisbon. D. Juneau. Answer. D. Juneau. Question. Upper Canada and Lower Canada were united as the Province of Canada in year? A. 1830. B. 1860. C. 1840. D. 1850. Answer. C. 1840. Question. The map of the east coast of Canada was first drawn by? A. Ferdinand Magellan. B. Christopher Columbus. C. Jacques Cartier. D. John Cabot. Answer. D. John Cabot. Question. Rights for Aboriginal people are? A. Protected under various treaties. B. Guaranteed by King George III, Royal Proclamation 1763. C. Guaranteed in the Constitution. D. Protected under provincial legislations. Answer. C. Guaranteed in the Constitution. Question. Which province of the British Empire introduced abolition of slavery in North America? A. Lower Canada. B. Newfoundland and Labrador. C. Upper Canada. D. Nova Scotia. Answer. C. Upper Canada. Question. Canada Constitution is based on the principle of habeas corpus, which means A. The state has the right to imprison you at any time. B. You can't be unlawfully imprisoned by the state. C. Your rights are less important than the rights of the state. D. The state has ultimate power over your property. Answer. B. You can't be unlawfully imprisoned by the state. Question. In 1982, the Canadian Constitution was amended to include the A. Canadian Charter of Citizens' Responsibility. B. Canadian Charter of Crime and Punishment. C. Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. D. Canadian Charter of National Allegiance. Answer. C. Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Question. During European arrival and settlement, large numbers of Aboriginal people died because of A. Starvation. B. Warfare. C. Disease. D. Execution. Answer. C. Disease. Question. How many Canadian and Newfoundland servicemen served in World War II? A. 250,000. B. 500,000. C. 600,000. D. Over 1 million. Answer. D. Over 1 million. Question. Montreal Stock Exchange opened in what year? A. 1782. B. 1802. C. 1832. D. 1862. Answer. C. 1832. Question. Poets and songwriters have hailed Canada as A. The Great Democracy. B. The Great Force. C. The Great Dominion. D. The Greek Confederation. Answer. C. The Great Dominion. Question. Which of these is not protected in Canadian law? A. Freedom of association. B. Freedom of peaceful assembly. C. Freedom of speech. D. Freedom to refuse to comply the law. Answer. D. The freedom to refuse to comply the law. Question. Which mark is required on the ballot papers in the circle next to the name of your chosen candidate? A. Tick. B. X. C. Any symbol. D. Circle. Answer. B. X. Question. The phrase of Dominion sea to sea came from A. French culture. B. English culture. C. Bible. D. Aboriginal culture. Answer. C. Bible. Question. The Peace Tower in the Parliament buildings was built to commemorate A. World War II. B. World War I. C. The Korean War. D. The Boer War. Answer. B. World War I. Question. What percentage of Canada's population lives around the Great Lakes in the St. Lawrence River? A. 10%. B. 25%. C. 50%. D. 75%. Answer. C. 50%. Question. Who has suggested the name Dominion of Canada in 1864? A. Sir John Alexander Macdonald. B. Sir Leonard Tilley. C. Sir George Etienne Cartier. D. Queen Victoria. Answer. B. Sir Leonard Tilley. Question. Mount Logan, the highest mountain in Canada, is in what province or territory? A. Northwest Territories. B. British Columbia. C. Yukon. D. Nunavut. Answer. C. Yukon. Question. Lieutenant governors usually serve the terms of A. 5 years. B. 4 years. C. 7 years. D. 8 years. Answer. A. 5 years. Question. Magna Carta, signed in 1215, in which of the following country? A. France. B. Dominion of Canada. C. United States. D. England. Answer. D. England. Question. Métis people speak their own dialect, known as? A. Kanata. B. Michif. C. Inuktitut. D. Inuit. Answer. B. Michif. Question. West Coast Railway was completed in year? A. 1871. B. 1869. C. 1898. D. 1885. Answer. D. 1885. Question. What are the three main components of citizenship? A. Loyalty to the sovereign, work hard and serve in Canadian forces. B. Loyalty to the sovereign, obey law and serve in Canadian forces. C. Loyalty to the sovereign, faithfully observe the law and fulfill the duties as Canadian citizen. D. Loyalty to the Constitution, faithfully observe the law and fulfill the duties as Canadian citizen. Answer. C. Loyalty to the sovereign, faithfully observe the law and fulfill the duties as Canadian citizen. Question. Which of these Canadian tribes lived by farming and hunting? A. Dean. B. Iroquois. C. Cree. D. Sioux. Answer. B. Iroquois. Question. During the American Revolution, how many Loyalists fled to Canada? A. 40,000. B. 30,000. C. 60,000. D. 50,000. Answer. A. 40,000. Question. Canada is personified by A. The Sovereign, Queen or King. B. The Prime Minister. C. The Constitution. D. The flag. Answer. A. The sovereign, queen or king. Question. To defend Canada, the Duke of Wellington chose Bytown as the endpoint of his network of forts, which is present days. A. Ottawa. B. Montreal. C. Toronto. D. Edmonton. Answer. A. Ottawa. Question. What are the two basic requirements of citizenship test? A. To test the knowledge of Canada history and English language. B. To test the knowledge of English and the knowledge of French. C. To test the knowledge of Canada electoral process and the knowledge Canada judicial system. D. To test the knowledge of Canada and rights and responsibilities of citizenship and adequate knowledge of English or French. Answer. D. To test the knowledge of Canada and rights and responsibilities of citizenship and adequate knowledge of English or French. Question. In 1813, American invaders burned down Government House in the Parliament buildings in York. Which city is this in present days? A. Halifax. B. Kingston. C. Montreal. D. Toronto. Answer. D. Toronto. Question. In 1812, in revenge for British interference with their shipping, which country attempted to invade Canada? A. Spain. B. France. C. Portugal. D. United States. Answer. D. The United States. Question. Which of the following is the Canadian system of government? A. Autocracy. B. Republican democracy. C. Dictatorship. D. Constitutional monarchy. Answer. D. The constitutional monarchy. Question. April 9th is celebrated as Remarkable Victory of April 1917 as A. Vimy Day. B. Confederation Day. C. Canada Day. D. Dominion Day. Answer. A. Vimy Day. Question. A provincial legislature comprises the elected assembly and A. A regional president. B. A regional prime minister. C. A lieutenant governor. D. A governor general. Answer. C. Lieutenant governor. Question. Canada is known around the world as A. A military power. B. Peaceful country. C. Good governed country. D. Strong and free. Answer. D. Strong and free. Question. Which province leads in granting women the right to vote? A. Alberta. B. Ontario. C. British Columbia. D. Manitoba. Answer. D. Manitoba. Question. Who are not required to write the citizenship test? A. The refugees. B. The applicant having university degree. C. Adult applicants of 55 years of age and over and under 18-year-old. D. The immigrant from English-speaking countries. Answer. C. Adult applicants of 55 years of age and over and under 18-year-old. Question. Who Who appoints the lieutenant governors in provinces or territories? A. The sovereign on the advice of the Governor-General. B. The Prime Minister on the advice of the Governor-General. C. The House of Commons. D. The Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Answer. D. The Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Question. Anglophones are generally referred to as? A. English Canadians. B. British Canadians. C. Canadian Englishmen. D. United Empire Loyalists. Answer. A. English Canadians. Question. Which is the primary source for preparation of citizenship test? A. Official Study Guide Discover Canada the Rights and Responsibilities of Citizenship. B. Your local library resources. C. Discussion with Canadian citizens. D. Third parties guides books tests and questions. Answer. A. Official Study Guide Discover Canada the Rights and Responsibilities of Citizenship. Question. Canada welcomed over 50,000 refugees in 1975 from which country? A. Hungary. B. South Africa. C. Ethiopia. D. Vietnam. Answer. D. Vietnam. Question. Which of the following is not a source of Canadian law? A. Laws made by House of Commons and the provincial legislatures. B. French Civil Code. C. French Federal Law. D. English Common Law. Answer. C. French Federal Law. Question. Canada welcomed over 37,000 refugees in 1956 from which country? A. Hungary. B. South Africa. C. Ethiopia. D. Vietnam. Answer. A. Hungary. Question. Many slaves escaped from the United States to Canada via? A. The Underground Tramway. B. The Underground Canal. C. The Underground Highway. D. The Underground Railroad. Answer. D. The Underground Railroad. Question. Under Canadian law, when men and women are equal? A. In all circumstances. B. When they're married. C. At workplace. D. In the matters of religion. Answer. A. In all circumstances. Question. The first Democratic Representative Assembly in Canada was elected in the province of? A. Newfoundland and Labrador. B. Prince Edward Island. C. New Brunswick. D. Nova Scotia. Answer. D. Nova Scotia. Question. The first European who explored the St. Lawrence River was? A. Jacques Cartier. B. John Cabot. C. Christopher Columbus. D. William Cormack. Answer. A. Jacques Cartier. Question. Who helps keep Canada's coastline safe? A. Royal Canadian Mounted Police RCMP. B. Canadian Coast Guard. C. The Canadian Forces. D. Canadian Rangers. Answer. B. Canadian Coast Guard. Question. Sir John Alexander Macdonald, the first Prime Minister of Canada, was an English immigrant born in A. Scotland. B. Wales. C. Canada. D. England. Answer. A. Scotland. Question. Which of these maintains the National Register of Electors? A. Provincial legislatures. B. Elections Canada. C. The Governor-General. D. The House of Commons. Answer. B. Elections Canada. Question. When British Parliament abolished slavery throughout the Empire? A. 1833. B. 1807. C. 1774. D. 1867. Answer. A. 1833. Question. The National Hockey League Championship is played for? A. The Laurel Cup. B. The Albert Cup. C. The Stanley Cup. D. The Frederick Cup. Answer. C. The Stanley Cup. Question. Ontario contains more than what proportion of Canadian citizens? A. 3/4. B. 1/3. C. 1/2. D. 1/4. Answer. B. 1/3. Question. The current Canadian flag is in use since? A. 1945. B. 1955. C. 1965. D. 1982. Answer. C. 1965. Question. Ontario and Quebec combined produce what percentage of Canadian manufactured goods? A. 25%. B. 50%. C. 75%. D. 15%. Answer. C. 75%. Question. Which of these religions has greater rights in Canada? A. Islam. B. All religions have equal rights. C. Christianity. D. Judaism. Answer. B. All religions have equal rights. Question. The majority of French-speaking Canadians live in which province? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. Manitoba. D. New Brunswick. Answer. B. Quebec. Question. The Atlantic colonies in Upper and Lower Canada were collectively known as? A. British Canada. B. British North America. C. Greater Canada. D. Northern States. Answer. B. British North America. Question. In 1792, some black Nova Scotian established a colony for free slaves in A. Nigeria. B. South America. C. France. D. Sierra Leone. Answer. D. Sierra Leone. Question. How many Canadians lost their lives in the First World War? A. 20,000. B. 600,000. C. 60,000. D. 261. Answer. C. 60,000. Question. Canadians observe Remembrance Day for all those who have served and lost their lives for Canada on day of A. August 25th. B. November 11th. C. July 1st. D. April 3rd. Answer. B. November 11th. Question. In 1960s decade, Quebec experienced a rapid change known as A. The Sovereignty Revolution. B. The Quiet Revolution. C. The Suffrage Revolution. D. The Quebec Revolution. Answer. B. The Quiet Revolution. Question. Federal elections are conducted every A. 6 years. B. 5 years. C. 4 years. D. 3 years. Answer. C. 4 years. Question. Governor General is appointed by A. The House of Commons. B. The Prime Minister on the advice of the Sovereign. C. The Canadian electorate. D. The Sovereign on the advice of the Prime Minister. Answer. D. The Sovereign on the advice of the Prime Minister. Question. Which Act of 1791 divided Quebec into Upper Canada and Lower Canada? A. The Division Act. B. The Quebec Act. C. The Canada Act. D. The Constitutional Act. Answer. D. The Constitutional Act. Question. Who is responsible to make the laws in Canada? A. The courts. B. The legislature. C. The police. D. The sovereign. Answer. B. The legislature. Question. The highest prize in women's hockey in Canada is A. The Hammond Cup. B. The Clarkson Cup. C. The Ottawa Cup. D. The May Cup. Answer. B. The Clarkson Cup. Question. Members of House of Commons is elected by A. Citizens. B. Prime Minister. C. Sovereign. D. Governor General. Answer. A. Citizens. Question. Who was the first European explorer arrived in Canada in 1497? A. Jacques Cartier. B. Christopher Columbus. C. Captain Cook. D. John Cabot. Answer. D. John Cabot. Question. The Books of Remembrance in the Peace Tower hold the names of A. All sailors who have died on service. B. All airmen who have died on service. C. All of these. D. All soldiers who have died on service. Answer. C. All of these. Question. Where does Canada rank in the world by land area? A. First. B. Second. C. Fourth. D. Third. Answer. B. Second. Question. New Brunswick is situated in which of the following mountain range? A. The Rockies. B. The Laurentian. C. The Appalachians. D. The Pacific Cordillera. Answer. C. The Appalachians. Question. Which Canadian province produces more oil and gas than any other in Canada? A. Saskatchewan. B. Alberta. C. British Columbia. D. Manitoba. Answer. B. Alberta. Question. The Canadian coat of arms does not contain a symbol from which country? A. Wales. B. Scotland. C. Ireland. D. France. Answer. A. Wales. Question. Canada has been a constitutional monarchy in its own right since? A. 1918. B. 1867. C. 1774. D. 1701. Answer. B. 1867. Question. Which province with 40% of the arable land in Canada was once known as the breadbasket of the world? A. British Columbia. B. Alberta. C. Saskatchewan. D. Manitoba. Answer. C. Saskatchewan. Question. The women movement to get the right to vote is known as? A. Quiet movement. B. Feminist movement. C. Equality movement. D. Suffrage movement. Answer. D. Suffrage movement. Question. In which year the last Victoria Cross was awarded to a Canadian? A. 1902. B. 1953. C. 1918. D. 1945. Answer. D. 1945. Question. What status do the rights of Aboriginal peoples have in the Canadian Constitution? A. Aboriginals are above the Constitutions. B. The Aboriginals have equal status in the Constitution. C. Aboriginals' rights under the Charter cannot be adversely affected by any other treaty. D. Aboriginals are subordinate to the Constitution. Answer. C. Aboriginals' rights under the Charter cannot be adversely affected by any other treaty. Question. Canada became an official title in which year? A. 1791. B. 1796. C. 1782. D. 1776. Answer. A. 1791. Question. What is the name of the military in Canada? A. The Canadian Rangers. B. The Coast Guard. C. The Canadian Federal Police. D. The Canadian Forces. Answer. D. The Canadian Forces. Question. How many Canadians fought in the First World War? A. 100,000. B. 200,000. C. 600,000. D. 1 million. Answer. C. 600,000. Question. English is the first language of how many Canadian? A. 7 million. B. 2 million. C. 18 million. D. 13 million. Answer. C. 18 million. Question. Which of these Canadian tribes was nomadic? A. Cree. B. Iroquois. C. Sioux. D. Inuit. Answer. C. Sioux. Question. In which war more than 260 Canadians died? A. The Mexican War. B. First World War. C. The American War. D. The Boer War. Answer. D. The Boer War. Question. In the 1920s, it was suggested that what area should become a part of Canada? A. The Falkland Islands. B. British West Indies. C. Ireland. D. Alaska. Answer. B. British West Indies. Question. In 1960, which of the following group get the right to vote? A. Aboriginal Canadians. B. Japanese Canadians. C. Mexican Canadians. D. Chinese Canadians. Answer. A. Aboriginal Canadians. Question. Who grants royal assent for bills to become law on behalf of the sovereign? A. The Prime Minister. B. The House of Commons. C. The Governor-General. D. The Senate. Answer. C. The Governor-General. Question. The provinces are governed by? A. Legislative assemblies. B. Direct rule. C. Federal government. D. Monarchy. Answer. A. Legislative assemblies. Question. Curling was introduced into Canada by immigrants from country? A. Norway. B. Iceland. C. Sweden. D. Scotland. Answer. D. Scotland. Question. Geographically, Canada is split into how many distinct regions? A. 3. B. 10. C. 5. D. 13. Answer. C. 5. Question. In 2006, House of Commons recognized which community as a distinct nation in United Canada? A. Métis. B. Québécois. C. Francophone. D. Acadian. Answer. B. Québécois. Question. The highest award for bravery to a Canadian is? A. The Edward Cross. B. The Charles Cross. C. The George Cross. D. The Victoria Cross. Answer. D. The Victoria Cross. Question. What is the capital of Manitoba? A. Regina. B. Victoria. C. Edmonton. D. Winnipeg. Answer. D. Winnipeg. Question. How many Canadians lost their lives in Second World War? A. 44,000. B. 80,000. C. 60,000. D. 40,000. Answer. A. 44,000. Question. How many French settlers settled in Canada during 1600s and 1700s? A. 1 million. B. Around 8,500. C. Around 7,500. D. Around 40,000. Answer. B. Around 8,500. Question. What status do the French and English languages have in the Canadian Constitution? A. French is more important. B. English and French have equal status as official language. C. Constitution did not define official language. D. English is more important. Answer. B. English and French have equal status as official language. Question. First European foot in Canada came from? A. France. B. England. C. Iceland. D. Spain. Answer. C. Iceland. Question. Which of these is part of the responsibility of a citizen? A. To work hard. B. To attend national events. C. To join a political party. D. To show respect for the Prime Minister. Answer. A. To work hard. Question. Majority of Canadian population were able to afford adequate food, shelter, and clothing in which year? A. 1951. B. 1957. C. 1947. D. 1927. Answer. A. 1951. Question. The elected part of the Parliament is known as? A. The House of Commons. B. The Senate. C. The House of Lords. D. The House of Representatives. Answer. A. The House of Commons. Question. The basis of the Canadian justice system is? A. The circumstantial evidence. B. The presumption of guilt. C. The burden of proof. D. The presumption of innocence. Answer. D. The presumption of innocence. Question. Who was the first constitutional monarch of Canada? A. King Edward VII. B. Queen Victoria. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. King George III. Answer. B. Queen Victoria. Question. In 1967, Canada began its own honor system called? A. The Canadian Medal. B. The Cross of Canada. C. The Canadian Knighthood. D. The Order of Canada. Answer. D. The Order of Canada. Question. Which province is the house of highest tides in the world? A. Prince Edward Island. B. Nova Scotia. C. British Columbia. D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Answer. B. Nova Scotia. Question. How many Acadians deported during 1755 to 1763 was also known as Great Upheaval? A. All. B. 2/3. C. 2/4. D. 1/3. Answer. B. 2/3. Question. French colonists begin to settle in the maritime provinces in year? A. 1624. B. 1594. C. 1624. D. 1604. Answer. D. 1604. Question. French colonists begin to settle in the maritime provinces in year? A. 1624. B. 1594. C. 1624. D. 1604. Answer. D. 1604. Question. European explorers called the native people Indians because? A. They thought they looked like Indians. B. Native peoples introduced themselves as Indian. C. They believe that native people migrated from Asia. D. They thought they reached the East Indies. Answer. D. They thought they reached the East Indies. Question. Quebec sovereignty lost the second referendum in year? A. 1982. B. 1985. C. 1980. D. 1995. Answer. D. 1995. Question. Provincial governments are responsible for which of the following policy area? A. Citizenship. B. Interprovincial trade. C. Navigation. D. Education and healthcare. Answer. D. Education and healthcare. Question. King Charles II gave the Hudson's Bay Company exclusive trading rights over the Hudson Bay area in which year? A. 1665. B. 1660. C. 1675. D. 1670. Answer. D. 1670. Question. Supreme Court of Canada consists of how many judges? A. 12. B. 9. C. 3. D. 6. Answer. B. 9. Question. Which of these does not fall under the responsibilities of a municipal government? A. Recycling programs. B. Snow removal. C. Utilities. D. Agriculture. Answer. D. Agriculture. Question. Canada land area is about? A. 5 million square kilometers. B. 2 million square kilometers. C. 10 million square kilometers. D. 1 million square kilometers. Answer. C. 10 million square kilometers. Question. Federal government is responsible for which of the following policy area? A. Defense and foreign policy. B. Municipal governments. C. Natural resources. D. Civil rights. Answer. A. Defense and foreign policy. Question. Which province has the largest Aboriginal population in Canada? A. Saskatchewan. B. British Columbia. C. Manitoba. D. Alberta. Answer. C. Manitoba. Question. In what year was Nunavut established? A. 1979. B. 1999. C. 1989. D. 2009. Answer. B. 1999. Question. French-speaking Canadian are also called as A. Francophone. B. French colonist. C. Inuit. D. Northlanders. Answer. A. Francophone. Question. How much of Canadian exports go to the USA? A. 75%. B. 10%. C. 25%. D. 50%. Answer. A. 75%. Question. Which of the following is not a branch of Canadian government? A. The monarchy. B. The executive. C. The legislature. D. The judiciary. Answer. A. The monarchy. Question. How long has the crown been a symbol of state in Canada? A. 200 years. B. 300 years. C. 500 years. D. 400 years. Answer. D. 400 years. Question. Which territory joined the Confederation in 1999? A. Nunavut. B. Saskatchewan. C. Alberta. D. Yukon. Answer. A. Nunavut. Question. Governor-General is appointed for the term of A. 8 years. B. 3 years. C. 5 years. D. 7 years. Answer. C. 5 years. Question. What do you call the political party with the second largest number of seats in the federal government? A. Majority government. B. Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition. C. The Cabinet. D. Minority government. Answer. B. Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition. Question. After the defeat of French in the Battle of the Plains of Abraham in 1759, British renamed the region as A. Newfoundland and Labrador. B. Province of Quebec. C. Canadas. D. New Britain. Answer. B. Province of Quebec. Question. The first constitutional document for Canada became law in A. 1825. B. 1867. C. 1792. D. 1862. Answer. B. 1867. Question. In Vancouver and Toronto, which of these languages is the second most commonly spoken at home after English? A. Spanish. B. Punjabi. C. Chinese. D. Hindi. Answer. C. Chinese. Question. Which of the following is above Canadian law? A. Aboriginal peoples. B. Religious groups. C. No one above the law. D. The politicians. Answer. C. No one above the law. Question. Red and white have been the national colors of Canada since A. 1901, B. 1911, C. 1921, D. 1931. Answer: C. 1921. Question: 75% of Canadians now have jobs in A. Information technology, B. Manufacturing, C. Services, D. Natural resources. Answer: C. Services. Question: the population of Nunavut is how much Inuit? A. 75%, B. 85%, C. 95%, D. 60%. Answer: B. 85%. Question: which of the following was not the reason for the residential schools program to become controversial? A. Aboriginal language and culture were prohibited. B. Schools were poorly funded. C. Students were physically abused and inflicted the hardship. D. There were not enough school for everyone and access to schools were limited to selected. Answer: D. There were not enough school for everyone and access to schools were limited to selected. Question: the phrase that rules Canadian institutions, peace, order, and good government comes from where? A. French Civil Code, B. English Common Law, C. Magna Carta, D. The British North America Act. Answer: D. The British North America Act. Question: Americans attempt to invade Quebec in year? A. 1776, B. 1775, C. 1771, D. 1769. Answer: B. 1775. Question: Canada Day, formerly known as Dominion Day, is celebrated to mark the date of the Confederation of Canada in 1867, which is A. May 1st, B. June 1st, C. August 1st, D. July 1st. Answer: D. July 1st. Question: World Standard Time Zone System is developed by A. Sir Sanford Fleming, B. Charles Best, C. Alexander Graham Bell, D. Joseph Bombardier. Answer: A. Sir Sanford Fleming. Question: if you can't vote on Election Day, how can you vote? A. On the Internet, B. You can't, C. After the election, D. In advanced polls on special ballot. Answer: D. In advanced polls on special ballot. Question: which one of these French symbols was adopted into Quebec's own flag in 1940? A. French crown, B. The Cross of Lorraine, C. A lion, D. Fleur-de-lis. Answer: D. Fleur-de-lis. Question: Canada's biggest trading partner is A. China, B. The United Kingdom, C. Mexico, D. The United States. Answer: D. The United States. Question. Which of the 5 Great Lakes is the only one that isn't at least partly in Canada? A. Lake Erie. B. Lake Michigan. C. Lake Huron. D. Lake Superior. Answer. B. Lake Michigan. Question. How many black loyalists, freedmen and slaves came to Canada for better life after American Revolution? A. 40,000. B. 400,000. C. 30,000. D. 3,000. Answer. D. 3,000. Question. What are 3 responsibilities of citizenship? A. Being loyal to Canada, recycling newspapers, serving in the Navy, Army, or Air Force. B. Obeying the law, taking responsibility for oneself and one's family, serving on a jury. C. Learning both official languages, voting in elections, belonging to a union. D. Buying Canadian product, owning your own business, using less water. Answer. B. Obeying the law, taking responsibility for oneself and one's family, serving on a jury. Question. Military service in Canada is? A. Volunteer. B. Noble way of contribution. C. Compulsory for 2 year. D. Compulsory. Answer. B. Noble way of contribution. Question. Who was the commander of victorious British Army in the Battle of the Plains? A. James Wolfe. B. The Duke of Marlborough. C. Charles Cadogan. D. Arthur Wellesley. Answer. A. James Wolfe. Question. Which of the following is not one of the founding peoples of Canada? A. Vikings peoples. B. French peoples. C. Aboriginal people. D. British peoples. Answer. A. Vikings peoples. Question. How many Anglo-Quebecers have a heritage over 250 years? A. 250,000. B. 500,000. C. 2 million. D. 1 million. Answer. D. 1 million. Question. Donovan Bailey of Canada break the 100 meters world record and become a double Olympic gold medalist in year? A. 1988. B. 1996. C. 2000. D. 1992. Answer. B. 1996. Question. Canada is a? A. Federal state. B. A parliamentary democracy. C. A constitutional monarchy. D. All of these. Answer. D. All of these. Question. In 1608, Samuel de Champlain built a fortress in an area which is now? A. Quebec City. B. Ottawa. C. Toronto. D. Montreal. Answer. A. Quebec City. Question. Proposed laws for debate in Parliament are called? A. Bills. B. Papers. C. Drafts. D. Proposals. Answer. A. Bills. Question. Federal government introduced unemployment insurance in year? A. 1965. B. 1950. C. 1930. D. 1940. Answer. D. 1940. Question. In which of the following situations you can ask the police for help? A. In case of lost or stolen property. B. If there's been an accident. C. If you have witnessed a crime. D. All of these. Answer. D. All of these. Question. Canadian Thanksgiving Day is on the second Monday of the month of? A. July. B. September. C. October. D. April. Answer. C. October. Question. Which of the following medicine discovered by Canadians Sir Frederick Banting and Charles Best saved millions of lives? A. Chloroquine. B. Insulin. C. Penicillin. D. Warfarin. Answer. B. Insulin. Question. The Quebec Act was based on? A. British criminal law and French civil law. B. British criminal law and British civil law. C. French criminal law and French civil law. D. French criminal law and British civil law. Answer. A. British criminal law and French civil law. Question. What is the capital of Saskatchewan? A. Edmonton. B. Toronto. C. St. John's. D. Regina. Answer. D. Regina. Question. Forced marriage is permitted in Canada? A. For some religions. B. If spouse belong to foreign country. C. Not permitted in Canada under any circumstances. D. In some provinces and territories. Answer. C. Not permitted in Canada under any circumstances. Question. Which of the following is regarded as the responsibility of the citizen? A. Serving the forces. B. Help others. C. Joining a political party. D. Compulsory contribution for national cause. Answer. B. Help others. Question. What is the capital of Nunavut? A. Yellowknife. B. Toronto. C. Iqaluit. D. Whitehorse. Answer. C. Iqaluit. Question. Who is responsible for running government departments? A. Senators. B. Lieutenant governors. C. Cabinet ministers. D. Members of Parliament. Answer. C. Cabinet ministers. Question. What does the Canadian Constitution say about multiculturalism? A. It is a fundamental characteristic of Canadian heritage and identity. B. It is not accepted under the Constitution. C. It should be discouraged. D. Constitution does not define multiculturalism. Answer. A. It is a fundamental characteristic of Canadian heritage and identity. Question. in common believe the ancestors of Canada's Aboriginal peoples came from? A. South America. B. Europe. C. Asia. D. Iceland. Answer. C. Asia. Question. In which year did the British Parliament pass the Quebec Act? A. 1779. B. 1767. C. 1774. D. 1781. Answer. C. 1774. Question. Research in motion. That Canadian communication company is well known for its invented device? A. The iPhone. B. Nokia phone. C. The BlackBerry. D. Galaxy phone. Answer. C. The BlackBerry. Question. Sovereign is the A. Head of Senate. B. Head of Government. C. Head of Parliament. D. Head of State. Answer. D. Head of State. Question. The enforcement of the laws of Canada is the basic function of? A. Court. B. Judge. C. Rangers. D. Police. Answer. D. Police. Question. Federal elections are held on the third Monday in the month of? A. March. B. November. C. October. D. June. Answer. C. October. Question. The majority of Canadians identify themselves as? A. Christians. B. Hindus. C. Atheists. D. Muslims. Answer. A. Christians. Question. How many distinct groups refer to the Aboriginal people of Canada? A. 4. B. 3. C. Unknown. D. 5. Answer. B. 3. Question. Which of the following province was not part of Confederation in 1867? A. New Brunswick. B. Nova Scotia. C. Ontario. D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Answer. D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Question. Name the capital of Newfoundland and Labrador. A. Edmonton. B. Winnipeg. C. St. John's. D. Regina. Answer. C. St. John's. Question. Which of the following is not allowed in Canada and severely punishable under Canada's criminal laws? A. Honor killing. B. Forced marriage. C. Gender-based violence. D. All of the above. Answer. D. All of the above. Question. Canada's economy is mainly driven by? A. Services. B. Finance. C. Trade. D. Tourism. Answer. C. Trade. Question. Which of the following is the busiest port of Canada? A. Halifax. B. Quebec City. C. Toronto. D. Vancouver. Answer. D. Vancouver. Question. Samuel de Champlain and Pierre de Monts established the first European settlement north of Florida in year? A. 1589. B. 1604. C. 1608. D. 1512. Answer. B. 1604. Question. In which year La Francophonie was founded? A. 1982. B. 1969. C. 1980. D. 1970. Answer. D. 1970. Question. Canadian citizens are eligible to vote at the age of? A. 18. B. 17. C. 21. D. 16. Answer. A. 18. Question. The equivalent of the Prime Minister in the federal government is called what in each province? A. Head of Region. B. Premier. C. Governor. D. Regional Prime Minister. Answer. B. Premier. Question. Small claims court deal with? A. Civil cases. B. Minor crimes. C. Divorces. D. Traffic offenses. Answer. A. Civil cases. Question. The Canadian national motto, Amari Usque ad Mare, means? A. The maple leaf forever. B. God save the Queen. C. Always on horseback. D. From sea to sea. Answer. D. From sea to sea. Question. Canada entered into a free trade agreement with the United States in year? A. 2008. B. 1988. C. 1994. D. 1978. Answer. B. 1988. Question. Canadian senator serves until the age up? A. 65. B. 60. C. 70. D. 75. Answer. D. 75. Question. The maple leaf has included in Canadian military uniform since? A. 1920s. B. 1850s. C. 1880s. D. 1820s. Answer. B. 1850s. Question. European exploration to Canada's east coast begin in year? A. 1497. B. 1867. C. 1947. D. 1604. Answer. A. 1497. Question. In last census Canada's population is about? A. 34 million. B. 24 million. C. 18 million. D. 44 million. Answer. A. 34 million. Question. French Canadians adapt maple leaves as their symbol in century? A. 1500s. B. 1800s. C. 1700s. D. 1600s. Answer. C. 1700s. Question. Voting in elections in Canada is A. A responsibility. B. Privilege. C. Compulsory. D. Volunteer. Answer. A. A responsibility. Question. All Aboriginal people who were neither Inuit nor Métis are known as A. Red Indians. B. French. C. European. D. First Nations. Answer. D. First Nations. Question. During the American Revolution, thousands of Native Americans loyalists fled to Canada led by Joseph Brant from which tribe? A. Navajo. B. Sioux. C. Apache. D. Mohawk. Answer. D. Mohawk. Question. In the three territories, the federal government is represented by what? A. A territorial prime minister. B. A regional governor. C. A head of territory. D. A commissioner. Answer. D. A commissioner. Question. The settlement of disagreements or conflicts is primary function of A. The courts. B. The police. C. The municipalities. D. The Service Canada. Answer. A. The courts. Question. How many provinces does Canada have? A. 13. B. 5. C. 3. D. 10. Answer. D. 10. Question. Canada took over vast Northwest region in 1869 from A. Métis. B. Hudson's Bay Company. C. United States. D. French. Answer. B. Hudson's Bay Company. Question. Canadians have a right to live and work? A. In the province of their birth. B. Where they are registered to vote. C. Where they have driving license. D. Anywhere in Canada. Answer. D. Anywhere in Canada. Question. The federal government reside in A. Toronto. B. Montreal. C. Vancouver. D. Ottawa. Answer. D. Ottawa. Question. In 1994, which state entered into a free trade agreement with Canada? A. Brazil. B. Peru. C. Mexico. D. Guatemala. Answer. C. Mexico. Question. First Nations make up what percentage of Canada's Aboriginal peoples? A. 25%. B. 35%. C. 65%. D. 85%. Answer. C. 65%. Question. Which of the following country emerges Canada's largest trade partner after the World Wars? A. European Union. B. Japan. C. United Kingdom. D. United States. Answer. D. The United States. Question. Which of the following defines the structure and responsibilities of the federal, provincial, and municipal governments? A. British North America Act 1867. B. Quebec Act 1774. C. Magna Carta 1215. D. Canada Charter of Freedom 1982. Answer. A. British North America Act 1867. Question. Louis Riel led uprisings against the Dominion of Canada in 1869 and 1885. He was representing which of the following? A. Métis and Indians. B. Sioux. C. Inuit. D. Iroquois. Answer. A. Métis and Indians. Question. Which of the following served as Canadian flag over a century before the current Canadian flag? A. The Union Jack. B. A plain red banner. C. A modified stars and stripes. D. The Canadian Red Ensign. Answer. D. The Canadian Red Ensign. Question. What are the three main industries in Canada? A. Natural resources, computer technology, and automotive. B. Service manufacturing and natural resources. C. Service manufacturing and agriculture. D. Service manufacturing and trading. Answer. B. Service manufacturing and natural resources. Question. Modern energy industry began in Canada with the discovery of oil in 1947 in the province of A. Quebec. B. British Columbia. C. Alberta. D. Manitoba. Answer. C. Alberta. Question. Which city is the headquarter of Royal Canadian Mounted Police? A. Winnipeg. B. Saskatoon. C. Edmonton. D. Regina. Answer. D. Regina. Question. Canadian citizens are required to serve in jury? A. If citizen own a land in Canada. B. If citizen are professional or expert to the matter. C. Compulsory. D. Volunteer. Answer. C. Compulsory. Question. Canada first start appearing on maps in A. 1450s. B. 1750s. C. 1650s. D. 1550s. Answer. D. 1550s. Question. Along with other former countries of the British Empire, Canada is part of which organization? A. The British Protectorate. B. The Commonwealth of Nations. C. The Colonial Society. D. La Francophonie. Answer. B. The Commonwealth of Nations. Question. A bill require how many reading in the parliaments during the lawmaking process? A. 3 times. B. 1 time. C. 4 times. D. 2 times. Answer. A. 3 times. Question. Majority of Canadian Christians are affiliated to A. Orthodox. B. Baptist. C. Catholic. D. Methodist. Answer. C. Catholic. Question. The red, white, red pattern of the Canadian flag comes from the flag of A. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police. B. England and France. C. The Royal Military College Kingston. D. The British Royal Navy. Answer. C. The Royal Military College Kingston. Question. Which is the largest city in Canada? A. Vancouver. B. Toronto. C. Ottawa. D. Montreal. Answer. B. Toronto. Question. In 1988, federal government apologized for wartime wrongs of forced relocation and sale of their properties to immigrants of which ethnic origin? A. Japanese. B. Chinese. C. Vietnamese. D. Hungarian. Answer. A. Japanese. Question. Who is responsible to protect the environment in Canada? A. National government. B. All citizens. C. Provincial governments. D. Aboriginal peoples. Answer. B. All citizens. Question. How many First Nations communities live on reserve land? A. About 700. B. About 600. C. 3. D. 5. Answer. B. About 600. Question. Since the 1970s, the most immigrants have come from A. Africa. B. South America. C. Europe. D. Asia. Answer. D. Asia. Question. Who are the federal police in Canada? A. The Canadian Rangers. B. OPP. C. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police. D. The Canadian Army. Answer. C. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Question. Which Canadian symbol can be found on a 5-cent coin? A. The snow goose. B. The beaver. C. The moose. D. The grizzly bear. Answer. B. The beaver. Question. Who was the first woman member of Parliament? A. Agnes MacPhail. B. Dr. Emily Stowe. C. Mary and Shad Carey. D. Laura Secord. Answer. A. Agnes MacPhail. Question. Hudson Bay Company has set up the cities of Edmonton, Langley, and Victoria as A. Army base. B. Landing stages. C. Religious settlements. D. Trading posts. Answer. D. Trading posts. Question. French North America Empire's economy was driven by the trade of A. Pine timber. B. Dried fish. C. Beaver pelts. D. Gold. Answer. C. Beaver pelts. Question. Prince Edward Island is most famous, in terms of its agriculture, especially for the production of A. Peas. B. Onions. C. Carrots. D. Potatoes. Answer. D. Potatoes. Question. What is the achievement of Canadian scientist Sidney Altman, Richard Lee Taylor, Michael Smith, Bertram Brockhouse, Gerhard Herzberg, and John Polanyi? A. They've all won Pulitzer Prizes. B. They've all won Nobel Prizes. C. They've all won Oscars. D. They've all won Science Award. Answer. B. They've all won Nobel Prizes. Question. Who led Quebec into Confederation? A. Sir Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine. B. Sir Georges Etienne Cartier. C. Sir Wilfrid Laurier. D. Sir John A. Macdonald. Answer. B. Sir Georges Etienne Cartier. Question. Which act granted, for the first time in Canada, legislative assemblies elected by the people? A. The Constitutional Act of 1982. B. The Constitutional Act of 1891. C. The Constitutional Act of 1791. D. The Constitutional Act of 1972. Answer. C. The Constitutional Act of 1791. Question. When did settlers from France first establish communities on the St. Lawrence River? A. Late 1600s. B. Early 1700s. C. Late 1700s. D. Early 1600s. Answer. D. Early 1600s. Question. With which words does the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms begin? A. Canadian citizens have rights and responsibilities. B. Canada our home and native land. C. Canada is a free country and home of the braves. D. Whereas Canada is founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God and the rule of law. Answer. D. Whereas Canada is founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God and the rule of law. Question. Which of the following best describes the role of the Queen in Canada? A. Make important decisions about how the country is governed. B. To peacefully oppose or improve government proposals. C. To run the federal government departments. D. To focus on citizenship and allegiance, be a symbol of Canadian sovereignty and a guardian of constitutional freedoms. Answer. D. To focus on citizenship and allegiance, be a symbol of Canadian sovereignty and a guardian of constitutional freedoms.